It's a really hard thing for dogs to learn, and it doesn't come naturally to them. They have this reflex that if you're pulling on them, they're pulling against it. That's why if you have a harness that hooks on the back of your dog and they haven't learned yet to not pull, it actually makes them better pullers, okay? They're gonna do more and more pulling. So I highly recommend harnesses. Pretty much every private dog training I do, and class training, I get people into harnesses. It might be a Walk Your Dog with Love harness, which is what Jasper's wearing underneath her service vest. Or this is my favorite because this one fits any body type of your dog. If you have a short-legged dog, a barrel-chested dog, this fits them all. And this is called the Walk and Sync harness, and it's only available right now online. I'm actually pretty good friends with the inventor of this harness, and I really, I wasn't when I first started using it, but we've become pretty good friends, and she's hopefully getting a private label contract with somebody to really distribute them more countrywide. So this harness hooks in the front, and what that does is it really doesn't allow him to get a good footing on a good pull. Right now I've got it clipped. The harness comes with this cool leash, by the way, that you can clip on, and it's got handles and stuff. So I can clip this onto my body, and so I can be hands-free again. And what I'm going to do is, you notice that once he gets to the end of this particular lead, and he's pulling a little bit, I just stop. And I don't start any loose leash walking training until I have a dog that will loose leash stand with me. Loose leash standing comes first. So when he refocuses on me again, any attention towards me, he's going to get a click, and I'm going to have him come back to my body to get that treat. I'm not going to treat him out here in front or back behind if that were the case. He's got to come to me. So he likes people. He's trying to get to David. Good boy. So I click him. He now knows what that click means, obviously, and he needs to get this treat right over here. Okay? So that's where that treat's going to stay. You notice I don't even have treats in my hands. I just go get the treat after the click happens. I'm going to move around a little bit. He's like, oh, you got food in your hand again. Nice. Looked me right in the eye. Good boy. So I'm just going to entice him a little bit. I'm going to come closer to the peoples, or move a little bit. Every time he tries to get down to the end of the leash, as soon as he gives me some slack on the leash, I will click and treat him down by my side. So he's pretty polite with the open treat bag here. A lot of dogs wouldn't be. That's kind of nice. So I'm just going to stand here for a little bit, make sure that he's really focused on me. Good boy. I can remain hands-free, which is a great way, especially with a pit bull, because they're so strong that when they actually start pulling, I can actually just plant myself and keep them from being able to get any extra distance on me, which could easily happen if I'm just holding onto the lead. But if you don't have this type of apparatus, or don't have a leash that works as easily as this one, and you want to hold on to a lead, I think I'm one of the few trainers that actually teaches you how to hold on to a leash to help you give the most amount of control with the least amount of stress. Okay, the loop on the end of your lead, I put over my thumb, because I don't necessarily want to attach my leash to a hand, because they, especially during wintertime, could easily pull you over. I mean, this dog could totally. He's pulling a little bit, so I'm holding him. Probably will. I'm going to back up because he's still focused a little bit. If I back up, it kind of good boy. He's like, I'm being so cute. That would be a fun trick to teach him. Okay, so then, after I put this loop, I drop my clicker. You notice I have a clicker on a little coil there. And then I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to loop it over my forefinger. All the leash is inside my hand, there's none on the outside of my hand, and I'm gonna hold it like that. This creates like a break in your leash where if your dog's really pulling hard, all you have to do is close your hand a little bit, and they can't pull this lead through your fingers or through your hand, which would really hurt to get a rope burn through your hand. So, and then I bring my clicker up and I just wedge it right in here in my hand. And then I hold my lead right here and I don't move it. So if he's not attached to me, this is how I hold it. So I'm holding it here. I've actually got a muscle that's always activated by that bicep muscle when I have my arm in a 90-degree here. So I can't, if he starts to pull, I just bend my knees a little bit, get a little lower center of gravity, and he can't really get that extra 3 feet that he might get from pulling me this way. I tell people mark it on your leash where your finger is right here so that you have a consistent leash length so that your puppy knows exactly how long that lead is at all times, okay? So he's just pulling a little bit. I just hold him. He says, I'm interested in that little shepherd puppy. I just hold him. If he continues to focus and not really attend to me again, I'm just gonna back up this way. He's like, oh, puppies. And I get him focused on me, and again, I treat him right here. Okay, good boy. So once we have a dog that's really focused and paying attention to us, while we're standing still and not moving anywhere, okay? I'm going to, good boy. One of the things you can do is 2 different ways you can start. If your dog is really good at staying on your side, you don't have to worry about it a lot. But he could still use some work at kind of moving with me. Walking your dog should be a mutual experience. I say it's a little bit like a dance. You should be doing it together. And your feet should be moving together. You notice my hand, once I put it here, does not move anymore. It stays right here. My treat hand, because I'm going to be clicker training, is going to come right up beside it. And the reason I do that is I don't want to lure the dog. Don't want to keep the hand down here and just have him follow that stinky hand everywhere. I want to reward him for doing good behavior. I don't want to lure him into good behavior, okay? So he's being a really good boy. I'm going to click and treat him. Now, I can do a backup. The next step could be a backup where every time he and I are moving together, he gets clicks and treats. So when my feet are moving and his feet are moving, he's going to get rewarded for that. We can do that. And when he gets really good at it, I can just do a pivot turn, and then he's on my left side where I want him to walk. And you notice, oh, he's not too far. He gets clicked and treated, comes back over here. He's a smarty pants. Every step or 2, he's got to come back if he gets out too far ahead of me to this side. Placement of reward is crucial. I can't tell you this enough. If he only gets rewarded while on leash at this left side, he's going to hang out at that left side a lot. He's going to know that that's where he needs to be when we're out walking. I'm watching him carefully. I'm clicking just every few steps. You notice I bring my hand up. He starts to go forward. I stop. I click and treat. He comes back here. Good boy. He put the brakes on for the treat that time. If he focuses on something else and then comes back to me. I love it. Good. There we go. Good job. You're so smart. Now, as he starts getting better at this as we walk away, you can see I don't have to give him clicks every step. But as we walk towards the interesting people, I up my criteria. I make it easier for him as we step forward, but I also make sure he stays right at my side. If he goes out in front of me, I stop here.